Hello and welcome back to another video. In this video, I wanted to talk about meditation and how it's a form of self-hypnosis. So let us understand what the goal here is, what the goal of meditation or what the goal of any spiritual practice or any religion is, or even inquiry or self-inquiry, or what the goal of a scientific person is in they, when we ask the question what the universe is and how and who we are. So in order to understand this, in order to understand the goal, it is important to first understand what is object and what is subject, and what a subjective experience is and what an objective experience is. If you want to understand this, I have already uploaded a few videos on this topic, but let me just give you a brief of what a subjective experience is and the goal uh, of life, or the ultimate realization that is to be had in this world. So, uh, we are all experiencing a conscious state right now. We are experiencing a state where we are listening and interacting. We are doing things and we are listening to things. We are watching, and this state that we are in right now is what we call the conscious state, or fully conscious state. Um, right now, if you are listening to this, you are conscious, and when you go to sleep, you will call that state. A person who is looking at you will say that you are unconscious, but you are conscious in a different realm. You are conscious in the subtle realm. That that can be again argued whether this subtle realm is the projection of the mind, or is it something that is connected uh, to the world, and can people from who are asleep at different spaces and different times interact with each other in this subtle world. These are all speculations, and there is no evident proof unless and until you experience it yourself. But let us leave all these speculations and um, get to the rational arguments that we can make about this topic. So, so when we sleep, we would be in a sleep state, or we would be in a state uh, of a dream state, or maybe we are also sometimes in something called the deep sleep state. And when we wake up, we are in a state where we are uh, merging from the sleep state into the conscious state again. So these are different states of consciousnesses that we experience throughout our day, and usually the story that unfolds in this is a collection of these states of consciousnesses. Sometimes we are having a bad experience, and we would call that state bad experience, when in fact it's a state of very low consciousness or something like that. And obviously, there are many psychedelic drugs available these days that you can uh, inject into your body and have these altered states of consciousness. Now, um, now let us understand how meditation comes into the picture here, and how religious practices are related to these states of consciousnesses. So religious practices are a mechanical process. So every meditation or every practice that you do, whether it's prayer, whether it's um, Sunday church, or whether it's reading the Bible or reading the scripture, is whenever this process gets mechanical, it starts inducing a state inside the person who is reading or who is doing these processes. So these mechanical processes are inducing a state in the person, which are basically these processes are a form of self hypnosis. So hypnosis has a general and a similar method, that is, you are told to be focused on a certain object, which makes the mind only oscillate between that object. And when you are focused and when you are uh, even for even momentarily or even for 20 minutes, you may not be able to focus your whole 20 minutes to the object, but the thought of returning to the object and losing the object again, and this whole process creates something called this whole process is what self-hypnosis is basically. And this is what all the practices of religion are supposed to do to you. Unfortunately, unfortunately, a lot of religious people associate the mechanical process that they are doing with the state of consciousness that they are achieving. So, a person who is repeating the name of God as Allah, or if they are repeating the name of God as Jesus, or even Ram or Krishna, or whatever uh, name of God you prefer, and if you are repeating this name, all of these people are in the same state of consciousness. The essence of the calm that they are having, the experience of the calm and the liberation that they are feeling, or the love and the divinity that is arising inside them when they are taking the name of God, is the same state of consciousness. And if you are able to perceive this state of consciousness in another person or in holy places, you will recognize that all of these places, or all of these holy people who have meditated for years and years, and for who have prayed for years and years, have this divinity surrounding them. And this divinity is not due to the practice that they are following, it is because of their state of consciousness. So if I am feeling devoted, and if I'm having a sudden ecstatic feeling of love of God, uh, this will be able, you will be able to perceive it if you are sensitive enough through me, or through a divine, to a holy person. But the problem that most of the people are stuck at is the problem of attachment, and this attachment is with the mechanical process that they are following, or with the religious practice that they are following. So this attachment is similar to how an alcoholic gets attached to alcohol. Um, of course, alcohol is way lower in frequency than prayer or a process of meditation, but this attachment is basically the same. And what happens when you transcend this mechanical process is you understand who the meditator or who the seeker is. So the goal here is to transcend all kinds of attachments, even the attachment of the method or the attachment of the religious organization. And sometimes people are so thirsty for that drop of peace, or for that drop of divinity inside their hearts, that they fall prey to many gurus who give them these methods, and they associate the method and the peace that they feel with the guru, or with the organization. And this is obviously probably done by a lot of gurus unknowingly. That is, they may not be aware of it while they're doing it. They're probably trying to help the person. So But this is what is going on inside the mind. When the mind is constantly given this mechanical process to do, and over years and years, it is just recalling the sense of calmness and sense of divinity that already lies inside you. So this state of consciousness is the goal here, and uh, in many traditions it is classified, although consciousness can never be classified, but we can try to explain it to each other by classifying the states of consciousness. And this classification is done uh, on 7 levels. So the prophets and the sages who are at the highest level here. Uh, the prophets and the God realized people are at the highest level. That is the seventh stage. And some of the prophets and some of the sages and saints are actually lower than seventh level, but they are portrayed as being on the seventh level. But in the seventh level of consciousness, you are one with reality. You are the sense of I has dissolved, and the only thing that remains is conscious experience of nothingness, or conscious experience of reality. This experience is similar to when a person goes into a state of deep sleep. But here in deep sleep, the person is unconscious. Um, in in God realization, the person dissolves completely. There is no sense of personality, or there is no sense of belonging to somewhere or somewhere, and hence there are the famous Mahavakyas that are Anal Haq by Mansoor al-Halaj, Mansoor, and other Mahavakyas that are Aham Brahmasmi, and all of these Mahavakyas that are stated in a state of the highest realization that is to be had in this world. So truth here is found in a state of consciousness, and truth is again a state of consciousness. It is not something that we gain, or it is not even an experience. I'm obviously stating all of these as my intellectual endeavor. This is not my own experience. This is after years and years of research, and I'm also merely a seeker. Unfortunately, I have not been able to drop the seeker identity yet. So, so it is wrong to associate the method of meditation or the method of prayer with the organization, or with the person that you are associated with, or with the person who has given you this method. Of course, there is something called uh, a wise being who, who knows exactly what you are going through, and the guru or the perfect master is able to push you or take you higher in the state of consciousness by giving you exactly what you need in your state of consciousness. Uh, but these people are very rare, and it requires a lot of understanding of the mind to be able to guide others. And most of the information or instruction that is received by the guru is misunderstood, or taken in a wrong context. Uh, so a disciple needs to understand the guru's psychology and the guru's state, or have a glimpse of the guru's state to actually completely understand what is going on here. Sometimes the guru might hit you, or he might tell you to do something that is very radical, in the sense that he will probably tell you to leave your house, leave your wife, leave your family, and go to the mountains, or something like that. In Zen Buddhism, the masters used to um, do something called uh, they used to induce this state of awakening or state of tension by hitting the disciple, or by doing something that is so sudden that when in that sudden moment the state of consciousness just awakens or has a glimpse of this awakening. So there are many methods, but a true disciple is someone who actually understands these things. So, but there are also a lot of gurus and a lot of people who are just using uh, these, who are trying to just manipulate the gullible people who are thirsty for uh, some peace and some divinity. So it is important to uh, uh, not fall prey to all of these things. And meditation is, of course, very beautiful thing, a beautiful practice, and it helps you not in just self-realization and auto-realization. It helps you in understanding your mind. It makes you calm. It helps you be aware more, and it helps you in reaching certain states of consciousness, but only up to a certain state, because everything that is mechanical is only on the level of the mind. And once you go beyond the mind, things are not mechanical anymore, and everything makes sense. So I just wanted to share this video, and I will further talk about more about meditation and how it can benefit you, and what kinds of meditation there are, and how um, uh, how the whole approach to meditation is misunderstood by fortunately a lot of people, and even myself. When I was in the beginning, I was very confused about what meditation to practice and what yoga to believe in, or which religion to fall into. And it just created a lot of conflict inside me. And conflict is not really what we are seeking here. Um, so, so, uh, so in order to reduce this conflict, it's important to understand that the method is eventually transcended, that this attachment to method or this practice or even the spiritual tradition needs to be abandoned, and state of consciousness is regardless of what practice you are following or what spiritual tradition you belong to. I can certainly feel the same divinity in a mosque, in a temple, and in a church. Uh, and if I have the opportunity to go into a synagogue, I would certainly feel the same thing with the Jewish monks. I've also done all these things, and I can say this with experience that there are places which are holy and emanate this divinity, but it is it is the soul that recognizes the divinity. It is not the mind. Whenever mind comes into picture, and whenever mind tries to rationalize these things, it will fall into segregation, and it will start excluding things instead of including and creating inclusivity, which is the goal of all realization, which is the goal. Unity is the goal here. We all have probably heard about oneness and about unity of consciousness, and about how everybody is the same. But due to these practices and due to uh, these fallbacks and these setbacks, we instead create exclusivity instead of promoting unity, and instead of promoting um, love and peace. So thank you for watching this video. If you find yourself becoming more and more radical about your practice, this is just a reminder to you that it is useless to attach yourself to your meditation practice or even to your spiritual tradition. Thank you for watching this video.